Hello everyone. Welcome to the SyncFusion webinar Bold BI Overview, a complete walkthrough of the Bold BI features. My name is Carter Harris. I am the Video Marketing Specialist here at SyncFusion and will be your moderator today. Our presenter will be Praveen Joshua D., Product Manager here at SyncFusion. And now, without further ado, I will go ahead and pass it back over to Praveen to start this presentation.
Thank you, Carter. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bold BI, our new dashboarding platform in the cloud. So here is my agenda for today's webinar session. I'm going to provide a brief introduction about Bold BI and the different types of data connections that we offer for you to build dashboard from it. We'll also create a simple dashboard to show you how easy it is for you to build a dashboard using the application, and then we can discuss about how to share and collaborate with other users within the application. Bold BI. Bold BI is a business dashboarding application. It is completely available in the cloud. You can use Bold BI to track KPI, metrics, or other data relevant to a business, department, or a specific process. The application is completely available in the cloud, so you don't have to install anything in your machine, and it is completely free from maintenance and costly upgrades. With Bold BI, you can work directly with your live data without needing to know SQL or any other proprietary languages. It's absolutely code-free. All you have to do is just drag and drop few widgets and do configuration in the UI. So before we move on to discussing about the features available in Bold BI, let's see how to get started with Bold BI application. To get started with the application, you can go to our Bold BI website, and in the pricing page, we have the list of plans that we offer. It starts with the Business 10 plan, which comes with 10 users and 10 GB of memory for you to bring in your data and build dashboard from it. And then we have the Business 25 plan, which comes with 25 users and 20 GB of data. And then we have the Enterprise plan exclusively for our enterprise customers. It also comes with additional features, which we'll discuss later on. And what you have to do is just start a free trial from this page, which will take you to a registration form where you have to enter your site name, your first name, last name, email address, and a password. And we also recommend you to go through our privacy policy and terms of use before getting started. So upon entering all these details and clicking the Get Started button, you will retrieve a email which contains the one-time password, which will take you to the application. So once you are done with this registration process, this is how the application will look like. So I have a list of dashboards here. It will right away take you to the dashboards listing. So you'll be having an option initially to build the dashboard. So at the left side of the application, we have different options such as dashboards, where you can see the list of dashboards that you have. We also have the data sources listing. We have options to create slideshows, schedules, and if you are an administrator for this application, you'll also have access to the settings where you can customize your application, such as change the datetime format, or and if you are an enterprise customer, you'll also have additional features such as white labeling and hosting the application on your custom domain and many more. And you'll also have access to the user management portal where you can import users manually or synchronize from your Azure Active Directory or Office 365 accounts if you're an enterprise customer. And we also have a built-in support monitoring system. You can go to the profile and create a new support request directly from here. Everything is built in within the application itself. So let's see this one by one. So the first thing that I would like to discuss is about the data sources that we offer. So we offer a wide range of data sources for you to build the dashboard. It could be anything such as a file on your computer. In case if you have a file in one of the cloud sharing services like Google Drive or OneDrive, you can also directly link from it, and you can sync your data in the file and always have the latest data displayed in your dashboard. You can also connect to the SQL databases on premise, and finally you can connect to cloud applications through REST API. So let's see this one by one. To start building a data source, you can create data source from here in different ways. You can click the create button and choose the create data source option directly from the home page, or you can go to the data sources listing, and we have an option to create data source from there. You can click the create data source button to create a new data source. So I already have a list of data source here, and now I can click the create data source button to start building a new data source. So we have a wide range of data source here. We have different categorization that you can take a look at. So if you are going to connect to one of your SQL databases, you can see the list of SQL data sources that we offer. You can use one of them and start building your dashboard from there. And before we start, before we create a data source, I'd like to show you how the data sources behave within the Bolt BI application. So basically, we divide the data source into two types. First one is NoSQL databases, which could also be and file or REST API connections that you have connect to build a dashboard. And the next one is your SQL connections or SQL databases on premise. In case of file or REST API connections, what we do is we extract all the data from the source and have it moved into the data store that is available within the application. So this is necessary for us to do some complex operations such as sorting, filtering, creating custom expressions, and many more. So we do all these kinds of data processing from the data store. And what you can do is you can create a scheduled refresh for a time interval so that you always have the latest data within the data store. And from there, you always display the latest data in your dashboard. On the other hand, SQL connections can work both in extract and direct query mode. You can directly execute the query on your premise, or you can also go in the extract mode and extract the data from your SQL database into the data store and build a dashboard from it. So I'm going to show you how to create a data source in either case. Let us go back to the application, and I'll show you an example of how to work with the SQL connection. In case if you have a Microsoft SQL server on your premise, all you have to do is provide a name for the data source and enter your server credentials, and you can choose if you have to go in live or extract mode. In case if you're going in extract mode, you can provide your database name, and you can also configure the refresh settings, which starts from 1 hour. And in case if you're an enterprise customer, you'll also have access to refresh intervals such as 5 minutes, and you can move on from there and make sure you refresh your data in the data store periodically and have the latest data over there. So this is how you configure connection using Microsoft SQL Server. In case if you are going to connect a file that you have, you can either go for a direct file connection where you can upload your file, or you can go to a cloud storage and choose one from here and sync your data directly from the cloud. So the other thing is the REST API connections. We also have a generic web API connections which you can make use of to connect any type of REST connection that you have. This is a very generic connection where you can connect with the guest or post methods and add your headers, or if you have parameters, you can add that. And you can configure the refresh settings to update your data every now and then, and build a data source from here. Or we also have dedicated connectors for different applications such as Salesforce or Jira. So what are different applications available here? We almost have 80 connections now, and we are continuously upgrading or adding more connections to the list. So you can choose anyone from the list. So I'm going to start building a data source now. I have a Excel file in my machine. I'm going to show you how to start working with it. So I'm going to choose the Excel option here and provide a name for my data source. And now I can click the upload box and choose the file that I have. So we have a default upload limit of 75 MB. In case if you are having a larger file, you can always use the cloud file sharing services and connect it from there. So once you have uploaded the file, you can just click the preview and connect button. It is at this time the application will go and fetch all the metadata or schema of your data that you have, and you can see a preview of the data in here. So in case if you have multiple sheets in your Excel file, all the sheets will be listed out here as different tables. So you can choose only the tables that you need or the columns that you need, and make sure you have only the data that you need for building the dashboard. So in my case, I'm going to use all the columns. So I'll use the entire data and just click the connect button. So this is the time when the actual data extraction takes place. The all the data from your Excel file is fetched and moved into our data store. So once the data is moved into the data store, it will take you to the data source designer. So that's what you see here. At the left side, you have the schema view, where you can take a view of your data of your table schema, and at the top we have few tools that helps you in doing simple ETL processes. So to start working with this, you can just drag and drop the tables. In case if you have multiple tables in your database or in your Excel sheet or in your workbook, just you can drag and drop the tables over here. So once you drag and drop more than one table, it'll be asking for a join relationship, which you can provide and join both the tables. So you can also change the conditions using the join editor available here. So we have different options. This is a join editor, and in case if you are going to work with, if you have a custom SQL query that you want to make use of, you can go to the code view, where you can see the actual query that you have been using. You can directly copy your custom query that you have and click the execute button to start working with the query mode. So I'm going to just use the UI mode here. So I have the table dragged to the canvas, and we have few other options, such as creating an expression or calculated field from here, and creating a filter. And also, in case if you're editing your connection, in case if you are connecting with the SQL server that you have, and while moving it into the production, if you want to change the credentials or the server details, you can click the edit connection and change all these details. Since this is a Excel file, I can re-upload an Excel file if I need, but I'm not going to do that now. Just I'll close this, and let's see the other options, that is expression editor and filter one by one. So in my data, I have a few rows that are undefined. You can see that here. So what I can do is I'll just filter out these rows and have only the clean data for me to build the dashboard. So I'll click the filter option here, and I can add filters with different conditions. And this filter conditions also varies with the different data types. For example, this is a numeric field that I have here. This is a free trial ID. I have different conditions to filter, like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to. I can give up a value and filter only the data here. In case if you are filtering based upon a string, like the name of the tier of the company, so I can just go and exclude few things if I don't want them, or I can also have some conditions like starts with, contains, or ends with anything. So what I'm going to do now is just filter out the undefined rows, so and click apply. So this is going to filter out all these undefined rows and give me only the data that I need. Even if you have a datetime field, you can choose a range of date, the values that you need between a date range, and filter it. So this is how you use the filter option here. And we also have an option to add a calculated field. We have a lot of inbuilt formulas here under various categories, such as for numbers, aggregation, and many more. You can see this here. For aggregation, we have maximum, minimum, standard deviation, sum, count, and distinct count. So whenever you click a formula, it'll show you the description and an example of how to make use of the formula. So all you have to do is just double click the formula that you need. It will add to the expression window. And now, so the data that I have here is campaign analysis data. We have the name of few campaigns and downloads that occurred based from the campaign. For example, I have the you can see that we have the campaign name, the download date, and the tier of the company, and the country where it is downloaded from, and also the product which is being downloaded. So one thing I can do here is to calculate the total number of downloads. I can do a distinct count of trial ID, so I can get the total number of downloads. So I'll provide a name for this expression as download count, and just save this. You can create expressions as you need using multiple formulas and things, and I'll just save this and close. So once you have added this expression, it will be added as a new column at the end. You can see the expression that we created now. So once you summarize all these things, you'll get the total number of downloads that occurred. And the final thing that I want to show you here is the shared tables concept. So often you'll require to combine data from multiple sources. For example, if you have a SendGrid data where you have all the details about the campaigns, mail campaigns, and if you want to combine this with the sales leads that you have, you can do this easily. So what we have done here is we have a shared tables option here, which will list down all the data source that you own and also the data source that you have access to. If someone else have created a data source and provided the permission for you, and those data sources will also be listed down here. So what you have to do here is just take the table that is available and drag it over here to add a join. So this way you can combine tables from different sources and build dashboard from it. So once you are completed building your data source, if you have, you can also do few formattings like change the column name if you need, or you can also change the data type from string, from numerics to a string, or date if it is compatible. So uh, once you have completed all these transformations that you need, you can either save and exit or just click the continue to dashboard option, which will take you to the dashboard designer. So what I'm going to do now is just click the continue to dashboard option. It will take us to the dashboard designer interface, and here we have the dashboard designer interface. So the dashboard designer interface is very easy to use. It is a complete drag and drop interface. We also have an interview to data source designer, and we provide a wide range of widgets. As you can see here, like we have charts for comparison, we have maps, grids, proportion charts, and many more. Let's see this later on. And we also have a built-in previewer, which you can make use of while designing a dashboard. So I'll go back to the designer application and let's see what are the options available here. So at the left side, you can see we have a list of widgets here under different categories. So to build the dashboard, all you have to do is just drag and drop this to the design canvas and start configuring them. And at the tool in the top, we have few editing options that will help you in building the dashboard, such as cut, copy, and paste, undo and redo options. And we also have filter and refresh settings, which I'll explain later on. So we also have the preview option, which you can use at any time when you are building a dashboard, and publish when you are done. At the right side, we have the data source panel, which shows the data sources that we have currently. And you can add multiple data source for building a dashboard. If you need to create another data source for you to work with, to build the dashboard, you can click the create new option and start creating a new data source from here. Or if you have to make use of the data source that you already own, you can just click the use existing option and load a data source. For a beginner, if you are exploring the different options available in the application, you can use our sample data sources listing that we have and start exploring the different features that are available. And above this data source panel is the properties panel, which shows the property of the object that is being selected. Since we don't have anything in the design canvas now, it shows the property of the dashboard itself. You can add a description to it. And now let's go and start building the dashboard. So I'll show you the schema of the data source that I have. As I said earlier, this is just a mock data of campaign which we have, in which we have the campaign name, the downloaded country, product name, companies classified under different tiers, and many more. So I'm going to build a simple dashboard from it. So first, the evident thing is we have the dashboard country. I can add a map and plot to show the downloads based on country. So I'll just drag and drop and resize it. And to configure this widget, you have to just click this, which will open the properties window. And we have two sections here. First one is the properties section, and the other one is assign data. So if you have multiple data source, you can switch the data source from here. And first, let us assign a data to this widget. So I have to add the downloaded country field to the shape, and then we have an expression that we created now to calculate the download count. I'll just drag this to the value. So now the widget is populated. You can see it shows the downloads in various countries. I can now modify this. We have a wide range of customization options here. First, let me provide a name for this. I'll just name this as downloads by country. And you can see we have a lot of customization options here. In case if you need a different map, you can choose it from here. And you can also add links, modify the color settings and the appearance. So these properties varies based on the widget that you have. And we have a wide range of customization options. So now that we have added this widget, what I can do now is I can add another widget to show the products that are downloaded most. So to do that, I can add a comparison chart. I'm going to use the column chart over here and just resize it. Okay, so now let us go ahead and start assigning the data for this. So what I'm going to do is add a product name to the column and downloads count to the value field. So you can see that the chart is plotted, but we have too many values here, which makes it unreadable. So what I can do now is just filter out only the top 5 products that are being downloaded using the filtering option. So you can see that in both the values and columns, we have a configuration here, or you can just go and filter out in case if it is a numeric field, if you want to filter based upon a numeric condition like products which only has more than 200 downloads or 300 downloads, you can add a condition here for the numeric. And if you need to add a condition for the dimension, you can add it from here. So I'm going to add a filter here for the dimension. So we have various filtering options. You can manually exclude or include items from the list here, or you can add a condition based upon another field like the download count greater than a value or something, or else you can use the ranking option to top only the top or bottom range of values. So I'm going to filter only the top 5 products based upon the download count. So I can just go down and select the download count and sum. Okay, so this is the condition I need. So once I click the OK button, it is going to filter and show only the top 5 products. So this is what I need. So let's go back to the properties and provide a name for this first. I can just name this as top 5 products. And you can also see that we have a wide range of customization options here. I can disable a legend if I don't want that. And I can also customize the access labels. I can also add, click the show value labels to show the value here. And we have a wide range of customization options which you can just explore. I'll just provide a proper name for the access titles. And that's it. So now I'm going to add another widget to show the downloads based upon the company tier and as well as the downloaded date. So since we have 2 dimensions, I can make use of the heat map. I'll just drag and drop this over here and resize it. And you can see that we have 2 axes where we can add 2 dimensions. So in the x-axis, I'm going to add the downloaded date. And since the default aggregation is here, I can just change it to month or any other aggregation that I need. And in the y-axis, I'm going to show the tier. All right. So the value will always be the download count for me. So I'll just drag and drop here. So you can see that the heat map is now plotted, and of course we have more downloads in the month of October and the tier 1. So I can also provide a name for this heat map. All right. So you can again this widget also comes with a variety of customization options which you can explore. And one thing I want to further tell is we have a few customization options for the numeric fields. For example, in case if you are working with the data that deals with currency, I'll just drag and drop this and change it to count or distinct count directly from here instead of using the expression. And as you can see, there is a formatting option available. You can just click this and customize your data to show in the form of currency or percentage. You can also customize the representation and also append a text or add a prefix or suffix if you need. We also have the currency settings to, in case if you are working with a different currency format or you're from different region, you can change the currency culture here. So I just wanted to show this. And the other thing that we can do is we can measure the campaign performance. I'll just drag a pie chart over here and let us configure it to show to detect which campaign has more number of downloads. So I'll resize this and add data to it. I'll just drag and drop the campaign name to the column and downloads count to the value. So which is going to plot based upon the campaign name. So as you can see, the 2018 MVP event has more number of downloads when compared to the other campaigns. So I can also add a legend to this widget. So I'll name this as downloads by campaign. And you can also customize the colors if you need, and even if you need a conditional formatting, you can apply to this widget. So just resize this. And so that's it about the visualization that I'm going to add for this dashboard. Now what I can do is I can add few filter widgets to this dashboard and show you how the filtering works. So I can add three or more filters to this. For example, I'll just add 2 combo box and filter based upon campaign names and product name. And I'll also add a date picker here so that I can visualize the data about the downloads happened in a particular date range. So now I'll go and configure the combo box now. I'll drag and drop campaign name to one of the widget, and I'll also enable the multi-selection ability so I can select one or more campaigns and see their performance. I'll just name this as campaign. And again, in the other combo box, I'll just add the product name. And again, I'll add the multi-selection ability and name this as product. And in the date picker, I can just bind the downloaded date. So I can choose a range of date and filter. So in the date picker, I'll just add the range ability. So it'll highlight only the dates available, and I can choose a range from it and see the downloads. I'll also provide a name for this. Okay, so now we are done with the dashboard. We have the dashboard that we need. I can now go to the preview option and see how it looks in the dashboard viewer. All right, so this is how it looks in the dashboard viewer, and I'll show you how the filter works now. I can go to the campaign name filter and choose one or more campaign names from here. So as you can see, once I filter a few values from here, all the other widgets are now refreshed, and it shows only the subset of data that you have filtered out. So this is the default behavior. So whenever you have a filter widget in your dashboard, all the other widgets will be acting as a listener widget, and it will show only the data that has been filtered. So you can break this behavior and customize it. You can also see the filter overview from here, the value that you have filtered. Yeah, as I said, you can break this behavior, and if you need only a certain number of widgets that should act as listeners, you can also customize that. So to do that, you can go to the filter option available at the toolbar, and you can see at the left side we have the master widgets. That is the filter widgets that we have, and at the right side we have the listener widgets. By default, all the widgets are marked as listener widgets. You can uncheck, for example, if I need for the campaign name, if campaign name filter, if I need only the downloads by campaign widget to act as listener, I can uncheck all the other widgets and click update. So now if you see, only the selected widget will refresh and filter the value when you do some filtering operations. You can see that. So you can add one or more listeners to a filter, and even you can make a master, you can add a visualization as a master widget if you need. To do that, you can just, we have a property known as act as master widget. You can just go to the widgets properties and make it as master widget. So there are more options available. So now let's go ahead and publish the dashboard. You can go to publish, and once you click the publish option, it'll ask for the category. So each dashboard should be saved within a category. So you can choose a category, or if you in the big you can also create one if you need, and provide a name for this. I'll just name it as campaign dashboard, and provide a description if you need. And if you need to make this dashboard as public in the sense that anyone can access to this dashboard, and they don't have to be user in the application. With having the link of this dashboard, they can take a view about the metrics or KPIs that you have. And if you need to do that, you can just mark it as public. So I'm not going to do this now. Just click the publish button to save and publish the dashboard. So the dashboard is successfully published. You can just click the yes OK button to view it in the viewer. All right, so here we have our dashboard. And about the refresh settings that I want to discuss. If you are, since I have a static file, I don't have to configure the refresh settings here. If you are having a data from a REST API or connecting your SQL Server on an extract mode, you can directly connect the refresh option in the data source itself to refresh the data in the dashboard every now and then. And if you are working in a live mode, so and if you are displaying the dashboard in a larger device such as a television or something, you can periodically refresh the dashboard and have it load the latest data into the dashboard. To do that, you can just go to the refresh settings and configure a auto refresh starting from 30 seconds, so that when you display the dashboard in a larger screen in a periodic time interval that you have mentioned, the dashboard will automatically refresh and load your latest data. So this is one other option that we have. And now, since we had discussed all about building a simple dashboard using the Bold BI interface, now let's move ahead and discuss about uh, sharing the dashboard. So as I said earlier, you can always make the dashboard as public, or you can share it with specific users within your application. You can also manage permissions for the particular users, like you can provide read options to few, and if you need the users to, if you want to allow the users to edit the dashboard, you can also provide edit permissions for them. And we also have a commenting system within the viewer itself, which you can make use of and add comments, start discussions from the dashboard itself. Let's see that. I'm going back to our dashboard that we created. To share this dashboard, I can straight away go to the share option. And always when you create a dashboard, it will be in a private mode unless you make it as public. If you want to make it as public again, you can go to the change option and make it as public. So once you make it as public, you'll get a link that you can copy and share it with anyone. And you can always, the person that created the dashboard as well as the system administrator will have the access to the dashboard. In case if you want to add more number of users to this, you can straight away type down the person's name or the user groups that you have, so that you can share it with a specific person or a group of people. So I can also add permission for this. I'm going to provide read write access and then click the share button. So once you click the share button, the person or group that you have shared with, they'll receive emails for the dashboard, which they can make use of. And if they have edit access, they can also modify the dashboard. And about the commenting system that we have, you can start discussion right away from the dashboard. For example, we have comments available here. You can also restrict the comment if you need. By default, the comments are always enabled. You can provide comments for the entire dashboard, or provide discussion for or add discussion for a specific widgets. So like any other social media, you can straight away mention the person that you want to discuss with, or a group if you need, and start your discussion from here. So once you have added the comment, you can just click the post button to send a mail notification to the user or group, and they can also come back and reply to your comment using the reply option available here. So this is how you discuss with the users, and that's it about sharing and collaboration. Let's see the other features that are available one by one. And then we have the schedules and alerts. You can always stay on top of your data by have a scheduled email configured, and send you can send the dashboard mail to you in a periodic time interval. You can also attach the dashboard in the form of PDF, Excel, or image. And also you can create data driven alerts. So in case if you are working on an operational dashboard in which you have to act immediately based upon the data, and if you have a data threshold, and once the data reaches the threshold value, it can have you notified and you can immediately act upon the data. So let's see how to build how to create a schedule now. So I'll go to the home page now. You can click the back button, and at the left side you can see the schedules option. I can just click this, and it'll take me to the schedules listing. If you have more than on schedules here, it'll list out all the schedules that you have. You can just click the create schedule option and start creating a schedule. So you have to select the category and the dashboard that you created, and provide a name for this. And then click the next button. So now it is going to take you to the configuration window, where you can configure the time interval in which you need the schedule. It can be any one of the options. You can choose it in a daily schedule, so that you can always have the dashboard daily mail to you every morning. And if you want to have this schedule within a time time interval, like so for the next 1 month, you can configure the start and end date. So I'll just configure this as every day and it ends never, and just click the next button. So the next page will take you to adding the list of recipients. You can choose the users from the application or a group if you have. And additionally, you can add external recipients, so that even if they are not a user in the application, they can have the dashboard mailed to them. You can just provide a email address and click the enter button to add it. And you can choose one of the different formats available. And finally, click the schedule option to start the schedule. So now, starting from tomorrow, I'll have the email, and you can see the status now. And going back to our data sources, one that I wanted to show you, you can see the refresh status of your data source as well here. So you can see that I have a large number of data sources here, some of which are SQL connections, which shows the label as live connection, and some of them are REST APIs that I have configured to refresh in a periodic time interval. So it shows me the last time in which the data source is refreshed. Right. So the next feature that I want to show you is slideshows. You can, if you have a related data source, related dashboards that you want to put together and display in a large screen like a television, you can create a slideshow of all the dashboards that you need and have it published in the screens that you need. So all the dashboards are optimized for larger screen view, and you also have control over the per view duration. To add a slideshow, again, let's go back to the application, and you can see at the left side we have the slideshows option. Just click this, it'll take you to the slideshows listing and show you the list of slideshows that you already have. And let me show you how to create a new slideshow from scratch. So this is very simple. Provide a name for the slideshow. And also the duration in which each dashboard should be displayed on screen, and add any number of dashboards. So I have added 3 dashboards now, and just click the create button. It will create the slideshow. And to open the slideshow, just go to the menu and choose open. So the one important thing that I want to share is about the slideshows is every time when you have a slide being displayed on the screen, you always see the latest data. So at the background, before even the dashboard loads, we fetch the latest data from there and always have the latest data within the slides. So I can also go in a full screen view and have this dashboard displayed in a full screen. So every 5 seconds, it is going to show me the slides one after the other. Or if you want to manually move to the next slide, you can also move using the next button available in the pop-up. All right. So this is about a slideshow. And another important thing that I want to show you is we have mobile applications for both Android and iOS platform, which you can directly download from the App Store. And the dashboards are optimized for both the tablet and mobile views. So let's go back to the application and see a few other options that I wanted to show you. So the other thing that we'll want to see is settings option that I told you that you can customize the application, and exclusively for the enterprise customers, we have option to uh, custom brand them. You can have your logo and everything changed. You also have can configure the data refresh every 5 seconds, every 5 minutes, and also you can bring in users from your Active Directory. And we have this subscription option here, where you can see the current subscription and you can also upgrade your subscription from there. And since I told you that we have the data store built in, and you can bring in data from there. So every plan comes with the default storage. Like I have the business 10 plan now, which comes with 10 GB, and I can also see the current status of the storage that are being consumed. And I can also change my plan from here. And I can also, once if you are in a trial period, if you need to add a payment and start working in a paid mode, you can add your payment details in here and change it anytime if you want. And the other thing that I want to show is the user settings, where you can add users manually or synchronize from Active Directory. So I have the list of users here. I can add a new user manually or import from a CSV, or also I can import it from my database. And the other thing is the support. You can create support requests directly from the application itself. You don't have to go back to the website or something. You can I don't have a support instance, so it is just empty. You can create a new support instance directly from here. So if you can also upload, if you have any screenshots that you want to show us, you can upload it and add all the details. So I think I have covered most of the features that are available in the application, and certain topics needs to be discussed in depth, which will later on, we will have different webinars for discussing those details in depth. And finally, I want to show you the enterprise features that we offer. For enterprise customers, we have the option to custom brand and have the tenant hosted in their own domain. And you can also have data-driven alerts, frequent refresh intervals starting from 5 minutes. And you can also synchronize from third-party logins such as your Azure Active Directory or your Office 365 account. So if you are looking for a tool to bring together all your data that you care about in one place and improve your business process from there, we welcome you to start a free trial and experience Bolt BI for yourself. Thank you.